I got like just the fast food cup, and I poured out, like a third of the thing, and then the rest of it's whiskey.
Yeah, of course.
It's great.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's a milkshake.
Oh,
That would be so disgusting.
that'd be so gross, dude.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 186 of Ignore the Backlog podcast. My name is the real Portz and Evil Space Bunnies on a computer screen right in front of me.
I'm right here.
It's like you're back in Portland.
It's almost like I'm back in Portland.
Or I'm wherever you are. Saint whatever. Who gives a shit?
Saint whatever. Honestly, I feel the same way. It's definitely a place.
Have you ever been the type of person? Let's open this up with non-video games, as is tradition.
Yes, obviously.
Have you ever been the type of person who, if somebody smack talks a place you're from or like a place you like, have you ever been like, hey, don't do that?
I think I did for Portland.
Really?
Yeah. So during the riots and everything, everybody was like freaking the fuck out and like being like, "You need to get away from there. You need to move right now."
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, people did think it was like
they thought that homes were being invaded.
Like straight up,
they just thought it was chaos.
Hours a day, just fire in the streets.
And I'm like,
it was really just like one small neighborhood.
Yeah, it was one.
I mean, the city
street.
sucks for other reasons, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it smells like it's San Francisco basically,
it's
without all the cool
San
landscapes.
Francisco now. Yeah, it's really depressing what happened to Portland. Walking around through downtown when I was there in September, it was utterly depressing. Also, I'll probably come around in September again because I looked at prices. Because my secret last year was accidentally flying at 9/11, and so prices were fucking
cheap. Did you really?
Yeah. I flew.
Wow.
I landed on 9/11.
Wait, so you're saying there were some benefits because now we have a day where flights are cheap. That's not that it was a good thing that it happened. Obviously, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah,
you're
obviously.
just saying let's look at the upside. Let's look at the silver lining.
I didn't realize
of 9/11.
it. I didn't realize it until like I was like looking, and then memorial stuff started popping up, and I'm like, oh, I'm flying that day. Oh, and it all clicked in my head.
Holy shit.
What
you're doing is creating demand for that day. So now those people have to work there that day. Otherwise, we could give them the day off.
Exactly. I know. How horrible of me. I'm a monster. Yeah, no. And I looked again and prices were cheap. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's just the day I traveled. It's in kind of a memoriam, you know?
It's so horrible. I was like, oh, yeah, like I like even
cheap flights.
I was like I even tweeted about it last year, and I was like, oh, it was like the realization of why your flight is so cheap, and I was just like, everybody posting 9/11 shit, and I'm just like, fly for cheap. I felt like such a fucking dick. But yeah, I looked again and was like,
when you're going through the airport, you should, to make small talk with the people that work there, you should be like,
damn, it's
these
so
prices
cheap
are
today.
crazy. I couldn't pass it up. You know?
I couldn't.
Do you have any idea why it's so low?
I didn't understand. Every other day was $800 for a ticket, but for today, it's only $299.
I mean, eventually it's going to be like the 13th floor in hotels. We just we call it a different. This is September 10th too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, this is a podcast about video games.
What's the 9/11 of video games, do you think?
Ooh, Overwatch?
Just kidding. Don't. Oh my god.
Woo. I'm so sorry. We
Blizzard
just got
is a company or Activision?
We just got rug pulled real bad with Overwatch too, and I know a lot of people are super bitter about it.
That's what 9/11 ultimately was a rug pull. Yeah, true. If you've been rug pulled in NFTs or crypto, you know what it was like to be there in the towers.
I'm trying to think of the worst video game.
Anyway,
what did you play?
say that was your fault.
That's fair, honestly.
So I played a couple different things. Oh my god.
I'm so
Wanna
sorry.
let chat weigh in?
Yeah, Fabian some Fallout 76.
I mean, it's appropriate. There's explosions in that.
There's nukes and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. What were you playing?
Okay.
Couple things.
So I played Frostpunk.
Oh, how did you like
Which-
that?
Is, I would say, maybe the funniest city builder sim game I've ever played. Accidentally, well, sort of accidentally, something happened that was very funny to me.
Okay.
Which is, we were struggling a lot in the beginning. I've only played like an hour or two of this game.
Right.
So this is my first run.
Right.
People are dying like a motherfucker.
Oh no.
They're just plopping dead. By the way, if you don't know, the game is like a city builder, but it's really cold, and you have this
Yeah.
generator, and you have to keep coal in there, and it adds a bunch of stress to what you're doing, basically.
Yeah.
So people are dying, engineers, which is a problem. So I need more workers, right?
Obviously.
You can sign things into law. I signed slight, like easy going, like you can just do some little child labor here and there, like the soup kitchen or something. Just
Like,
so, like it makes sense within the context.
Yep.
If you're down to your last 80 people of humanity, some children are gonna have to work. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. It's just the situation we're in. I don't think I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
That did lower morale quite a bit.
How old are these children that are going into the labor force?
They don't say, but they look like they're about 8 to 12.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of
I'm
the
not
city
sending
builders.
5-year-olds out there.
Okay.
They wouldn't get anything done.
They'd be like, I put the block into the thing. I lit did this, but that's what you wanted, right? Anyway, sorry.
So,
Child
great
labor.
street urchin voice you got there. So one of 5 of them were employed at the soup kitchen. They were the sole employees of the soup kitchen.
Oh no! Did the children go on strike?
Well, I forced them to work because look, it's long. We got to get a lot of work done. The game works. They have like 8-hour shifts, which is insane. You don't have an 8-hour workday when you're trying to survive the human race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need
So I was
longer
like,
wages.
crank that up to 24 hours.
Obviously.
We're gonna need you to work the rest of
Work
today.
the children
It's
until
just
they're
once.
dead.
It's 24 hours every 3 days. Okay, I don't think that's ridiculous.
It's fine. 24 hours. Yeah.
One of them goddamn goes and gets himself sick.
Little
So
shit.
I give him the day off. I'm a nice guy, okay?
Yeah.
Go rest up, little
He's
buddy.
got the sniffles. You got to give him that
We
relaxing
got other
time.
children. We
Mhm.
bring another one in. It's fine.
Okay.
Now, when he gets better, and he does, thank God, that's not a guarantee. There's no place for him at the soup kitchen. We filled the slot. I don't know what to tell you, bud. So everyone else is busy, maxed out, doing their own thing. So there's one job he can do, and it's like a coal pile a mile out in the snow by himself. So he spends all day dragging coal back. Doesn't see another soul the entire day.
Oh no.
And that's his life now. So
Okay.
Oh yeah, because I signed in dangerous jobs into law so that he could do that. So, I really moved a lot of barriers for that kid.
Yeah. Yeah. You made you made accomplishments.
I think adults and children should be equal in the workplace. To be honest, I mean,
Honestly,
it's
that's fair.
ridiculous.
They have basically the same education and settings like
I
that.
mean, have you been to my part of the town? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's Frostbug. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
I can't wait
I've been
to play
meaning
more.
to check it out. Fuck.
Yeah, I've had it forever. I don't even remember where I got it. I assume it was Humble Bundle or something.
Probably.
And it's very silly and a good time.
Mhm.
I booted up Diablo 3 in kind of we have Diablo 4 at home kind of way. And I didn't, have the best time, but I didn't buy the $100 version of Diablo 4.
Wow.
So next time you think old Portzy's got a little bit of an impulse control problem,
Wow. So proud of you. So brave.
video evidence right here.
Video.
And
So
I
brave.
held my wallet. I said,
So
"No,
brave.
Blizzard, you're only getting $70 from me." That's right.
Uh-huh.
So
So does that mean you
Yeah.
get to play now, or do you get to play in 4 days?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, so you
Yeah,
get to play next
the
week.
6th. Yeah.
It's fucking wild. Okay. $30 just to play early.
Yeah.
Technically 140.
I did buy 2 copies of the game.
It's
Okay.
true.
Sure, fine. Technically.
Uh-huh.
But 140 compared to 200 is immaculate.
Yeah, that's immaculate. That's you're saving
incredible.
$60 right there.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. So
Diablo 3
was, you know,
yeah,
I'm just pissing away my days trying to wait for a game to come out. Lord of the Rings Online I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
Still. They released a new not mode, but update that lets you change the difficulty of the landscape.
Uh-huh.
Which is all non like dungeon and quest instance stuff, which it desperately needed because the game's wildly too easy. So I started a new character because I have some achievements with the new difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you get to a level 130 and you stay on a particular difficulty or higher, you get a title, which is master of whatever weapon your class uses. So like the one I picked is going to be master of bows, which is fun. And I named myself Indisposed so that I'm going to be Indisposed master of bows.
No!
And that's going to be awesome because we were like, wait, you saw that achievement, named a character that, then boom, you got it done.
You got it done.
Yeah.
You fucking nerd. Okay.
I don't think I'll ever make it there. My main is 67 or something, and you have to get 130. So we'll see. Okay. Probably not.
Yeah, that's fair.
But still, it's a fun little thing.
Yeah.
Before I booted up Frostpunk, I also booted up some Farthest Frontier with Faye. And we were just kind of chilling in that game. But then I got to the same goddamn part I got to last time, although slightly earlier.
Where you got stuck and you just get rampaged by those guys?
Well, so we played on a random map with random resource assignments, and it was really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Really fucking hard.
Yeah.
So I kind of quit because it was hard. We were looking for a relaxing time. We never found it, but...
Yeah, I think they did some major update changes with that recently. I haven't touched it since January.
I can't remember the specifics of like the tiers. There's a new one. There's tier 4 stuff that I don't think was there before, which is dope. But I think they reordered some stuff. You can't get weapons early anymore unless you buy them, but they're very expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm running around. I'm literally having to manually stab deer to hunt.
So you can't.
They won't go. I don't have any fucking bows.
What the
fuck? Ran out. They ran out of bows, and I can't buy anymore.
That's bad. That's not good.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting unlucky somehow, or it's glitched.
I'll have to look.
I have no idea.
It's been a while since I played.
It's funny that you can run down deer with your knife, but having to do it manually is very annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, the last time I played this was January. So yeah, there's been 3 major updates since I last played.
They are updating it a lot, which is very cool, but I would like them to get to a place where I have fun again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better than some of the other ones that I've backed. Like Buoyancy. Buoyancy is pretty much a dead game, which is depressing compared to other city builders and stuff.
Wait, you backed Farthest Frontier?
No, I didn't back Farthest Frontier, but I did back Buoyancy, and it's just...
Yeah. Well, I guess technically we're all backing it because it's still in
early
access.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay. What else did you play?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. I also played that other thing we're doing, but I'll save
you can't
that
talk
for
about
the
that.
other thing. So there's just a shroud of secrecy around me. Just pretend I played a lot of stuff and you just can't figure out. You can't penetrate my shield or something. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
What did you play?
I did play quite a bit this week. Like I said, I went back to Starship Troopers. They added a new game mode. I don't like that game mode. I think it takes too long. So you basically are playing StarCraft. You're gathering resources to build a base to ultimately defend that base.
In the Starship Troopers game?
Yes. There is one point.
I thought that was like a Left 4 Dead like game.
No, it's co-op. It's all co-op game, and
yeah, Left 4 Dead, co-op.
Not like Left 4 Dead. It's 16 people, so there's squads of 4, but there's 16 people total, right?
Right.
And you go do objectives in the area and stuff like that, and you go to the next objective, and then the last objective, you bunker down. But this new game mode, you go gather resources, you bring them back to build a base to ultimately defend that base. And my complaints with it are the resources are way too far out. They're like 600 to 800 meters out. So it takes a really long time. And if anything happens or the squad gets wiped, you just wasted like 10, 15 minutes. And so they go on for they're really long. So one of the matches we did ended up being fucking like almost an hour and a half. And it was such a struggle fest, and everybody was just nobody was RPing, no one was having fun. And I was like, this sucks. So I went.
If even the RPers have stopped, they've clearly fucked something up.
They fucked something up. So I went and complained and stuff, and I put my formal complaint in, and hopefully they make adjustments because it is an early access, and they are demanding feedback. So I think they'll take it. I got to play Stardew Valley very aggressively. I needed something cozy and comfy. I was super stressed out yesterday, having a really bad day. And I'm like looking at all my comfy games. And it's like Binding of Isaac, Elden Ring. Like, the only thing that I could think of that was chill is maybe Power Wash Simulator, but I'm waiting for new content to drop. So I'm like bored. Sure. And, a lot of my friends have been playing Stardew Valley. Aaron and Slip have, and I just been literally wanting to get through it. But I did play something, and you might get mad at me.
I might get mad at you?
So I did
what?
I played Death Gambit. I got back into another Elden Ring.
I don't know why you would ever care about that.
So it's funny that Fabian mentions Hollow Knight because I have been missing something in my heart since beating Hollow Knight.
Hard Metroidvania games?
I needed a hard Metroidvania game, and I kind of forgot about Death Gambit. I tried this game back in 2018 when this first came out, but I sucked. I was not prepared. My body was not ready. My mind was not ready.
Well, that really fucking upsets me. Yep, go ahead.
However, even though this game is hard, I would say this is easier than Hollow Knight. But there's so many fun things in this game that I did not realize were going to happen. So there's funny little moments with some of the characters. The characters are really enjoyable. The voice acting's really, really good. Death is probably my favorite snarky asshole in the whole game. And he's just fucking fantastic. But the artwork, the music, it's just a gorgeous game, and this game didn't get a lot of recognition, and it's so fucking depressing that this game didn't get the recognition that I think it definitely deserved, because like everything about this game is just gorgeous.
When did it come out?
2018.
I don't remember anybody talking about it. Although, to be fair, did anyone talk about video games at all except Red Dead 2 in 2018?
Honestly, that's fair. And like this, there's a lot of similarities to Hollow Knight. You could see the inspiration from this game is definitely taken from Hollow Knight. Even like the double jump that you ultimately get with the wings. So you get a wing boost, and that is literally stripped straight from Hollow Knight.
Fucking spoiler central over here.
You get a double jump, Portz. It's terrifying.
I'm not. Why would I? What do you mean?
I think you could play this. I think this would be a challenging game. Because I think you should check it out, because I think you would like the voice acting.
Okay.
You'll like the voice acting, I promise!
Sure. God, it's going to seem so rigged now.
I'm so sorry. Like I said, you might get mad. I forgot about it. And then
spoiler for Fabian. Come on. Jesus Christ. She wants to play this game. She loves hard stuff,
even
though she doesn't see it through it. Okay.
I literally...
What?
Well, okay, so in 3 days, I put 10 hours into this game, which is a lot for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I really, really enjoy it. It's really
And so you
gorgeous.
played it but didn't beat it before?
I have never beaten it before. I put 3 hours into it, and I started like 3 different
playthroughs.
playthroughs.
Blaze past that shit.
I know. I told you. My body was not ready for it.
Yeah.
And I'm playing
Sometimes they're seasonal. I think video games are seasonal, and it's all up to each individual person's seasonness.
Yeah, just like Elden Ring. So this is like definitely feeling my Elden Ring void since Elden Ring is coming to an end for me. I gotta beat it.
Oh, dude, you're hanging on to that harder than I'm hanging on to Alex.
I'm not ready.
Although you've put way more hours. Holy shit.
I put 120 hours into my character.
Although if there was side stuff to do in Alex, I'd be playing it every day of my life.
Fair. I haven't touched
in half-hour stretches so I don't get sick.
Yeah, I haven't touched Elden Ring in probably a week or two.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you like Hollow Knight, you'll definitely like that. But I'm sorry, Fabian, you don't have the wings yet. You'll get them soon, promise. TM. But I did play Frog Detective a little bit, which isn't that big of a deal, but I think it's a cute game and it's adorable. It's also on the Game Pass. But the other game that I played on the Game Pass, I played this a couple weeks ago and I talked highly of it. I kind of hate it now.
Which game?
It's called Benedict Fox. Hang on, I'm trying to pull up Xbox and it's being really slow.
What that is.
It is called The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which is the puzzle Metrovania side-scroller.
Yeah.
So, like, my biggest complaints about it originally were... Oh, no, it's starting. Okay.
Are you playing games in the background?
I accidentally clicked it. I didn't like the combat in this game. I thought it was very clunky and slow for Metrovania. And the puzzles weren't originally bad, but now they fucking suck. They're hard, they're super atrocious, and they're very cryptic, and it's just nightmare fuel for me at this point. Huh. When a puzzle game becomes nightmare fuel, I just lose all interest, and that says a lot because I love puzzle games. But this game, it's just crawling, and now I could see where the complaints originally were about this game.
Sorry, what is the complaint about the puzzles?
They're very cryptic, and they don't make any sense sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, fuck, this is annoying, and I'm just like looking up shit, and once I start looking up shit, I start losing interest.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I give up. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I literally can't do it. But yeah, so that's what I played this week. And then,
wow.
Yeah, I told you I played quite a bit. I'm sorry.
No, do it. You're holding up the video game part of this.
I guess.
I've been for years. I've slowly just like
you're doing it.
Randomly selecting old podcast episodes to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a lot of Dota and RuneScape over our 3-year tenure here.
That's fair. I mean, it's your did
I say I uninstalled Dota 2 weeks ago and I haven't been back.
I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. You
no screaming at 2 in the morning. It's been great, you know? I think my skin's clearing up. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I'm glad you bit the Dota bullet and the fucking
the RuneScape one was taken from me, but it's
fair.
Still good. It's gone.
It's gone. It was a mixed blessing. But
100%. Like most things that are hard to quit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like smoking feels good in the moment, you know?
I've never smoked in my life.
Cigarettes?
Yeah, never cigarettes.
I smoked once.
I guess
my buddy Pat offered me to because I was like, I've never. We were drunk as fuck outside a bar. I was like, oh god, get it away from me. Well, I have done cigars once a year for the past 6 years.
That's always something I wanted to do, but I've heard people throw up, so that also deters me.
Well, just don't swallow it. Yeah, the problem is. Yeah, the problem is, so you think like with weed, you want it to go into your lungs.
Yeah.
With smoking, you want it to sit in your mouth. That's the difference. So if you don't get it in your lungs, you're fine.
Okay. So
I still fuck up every now and then, but one time's not going to make you throw up.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so last week, Terry...
We'll do some when you're here.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll get whiskey and we'll do cigars. That sounds like a good time. Hell yeah!
We'll do it on my porch and I can get evicted.
Hell yeah, buddy! Okay, I'm down. So Terry asked us last week, what is a game genre or a genre of game that you wish would make a comeback? And I thought really hard about this.
Yeah, so did I. Let me just ask: are any genres actually missing right now?
There's certain ones that like don't have a lot of attention anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
And stuff like I thought about side scroller beat 'em up games. Like the newest one that I could think of was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was a remake.
Yeah.
You can also say like extreme sport games like Tony Hawk are kind of gone.
I think the ones that are gone, I don't miss.
Rhythm, that's fair.
To be honest.
Rhythm games like oh god, Guitar Hero and Rockstar.
Yeah.
And
Crypto the Necrodancer was a while ago now.
Yeah, Crypto the Necrodancer. I guess the bullet one.
Hellraiser?
Hellraiser, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, those definitely exist in indie form, kind of, every couple years or something.
Yeah, Beat Saber, I guess, and like Fabian pointed out, point-and-click adventure games are pretty much gone.
No, well,
yeah,
it depends on how strictly you adhere to the
point-and-click.
because
I guess Telltale games.
Daedalic still makes them. The people who brought us Gollum. They still make them. They made like 3 Deponia games.
Deponia. Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
And then Telltale came back and they're making a fucking. What are they making? What's that Expanse? They're making an Expanse game.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to see that. I think that came out.
And so maybe I don't know how well the point and click community embraces those games because they're mostly just
story driven,
story dialogue QTE games.
Yeah, they're not puzzle games and stuff like that. I think that's one of the things that was so strong with point and click games like Monkey Adventure Island and stuff like that. Monkey Island was all about the puzzles and solving the puzzles and shit. So, one of the things that I thought about was FMV, which of course your girlfriend just brought up. Was FMV like stuff like Dragonlance or Dragon oh my god, why can't
Dragon's Lair?
Dragon's Lair, thank you. Dragon's Lair. But another one that I thought about was like 3D mascot games. Like think of Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong, Mario, shit like that.
Hat in Time.
Hat in Time.
The hat is the mascot.
That's true. Banjo-Kazooie and stuff. We don't really get those very often.
No, we get remakes of them.
We get remakes or Mario Party. Or Mario.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
Mario's probably one of the longest standing ones. Like even
but how often do the 3D like platformer Marios come out? Like once every 6 years or something?
Yeah,
like once a platform?
Once maybe like 2 per platform because I think the Switch has 2.
Which one? They have Odyssey and what else?
Oh, I guess it's just Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wii had 2 Galaxy games.
Yeah, 2 Galaxy games.
Make Odyssey 2, you fucking cowards. Yeah, so FMV games, I'm definitely like I miss the sort of AA influence in them.
Yeah.
Like when Need for Speed games were all FMV. But FMV is tricky because once you sort of know how people are going to perceive it, or it got too meta. And it's like, oh, we're bad on purpose. No, you need to be trying your ass off and come off cringe.
Yeah.
That's the FMV I want.
Okay, I can respect that.
So even the indie scene doesn't really capture that part.
Yeah, I think you have to have the right level of like cringe and funny. Obsidian points out, he's like, one genre that I wish that would make get more attention is like cyberpunk or steampunk games. And there aren't a lot of those. You're right. You're definitely right.
Cyberpunk, there's like
Shadowrunner games.
Shadowrunner games. That I was literally thinking Shadowrunner. I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Shadowrunner.
That's it.
There's not too many. There's like
does Ghost Runner count?
There's a point and
there's a couple indie games.
One
there was an indie game that was gonna come out, or maybe has come out. I forget what it's called, but it was like the thing that drew me in was like you're in this cyberpunk city, but you run this sushi cafe.
A sushi cafe?
And you like fish on your own outside of the office hours, and then sell the shit you catch at the sushi cafe in this like pixel art cyberpunk city. I can't fucking remember what the hell it's
Oh
called.
my god, somebody help us find that. There's also VA11, which I've never played, which is a bartending action game.
I've never.
VA11 Halle, or I think that's what it is. Maybe it's
Valhalla.
Valhalla. Yeah, Valhalla.
Yeah.
It is Valhalla. You're right. God damn it! Why did they do that to me? I haven't played
VA11
it.
Holla.
I haven't played it, but my roommate swears by it. He really loves it. It's cyberpunk themed and stuff like that, but you run a bar and it's all pixel art and it's really gorgy.
Maybe that's the game?
Maybe it's not a sushi bar. It's
Is it
definitely
new?
bars. It's 2016. It's pretty old.
So no.
No. I want to find this one that you're talking about. A sushi bar? That sounds cute.
Maybe it's not sushi specifically, but there was sushi in it for sure.
Fabian says we need food mascot games like Pepsi Man, Cereal Box, 7-Up Diet. I remember the 7-Up game. I rented
Dude, I
that.
think those games, like if a modern company embraced that, it could do well. I don't think I would like it per se.
The KFC one. The KFC one was the recent one that I can think
100%.
of.
People buy into the irony of it.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, that's so silly, you stupid food products, but I love you.
I love you, KFC man. I'm gonna
Wow,
romance
you're
the shit
giving
out
us
of you.
exactly what we want.
Wow.
I'll buy that, I guess.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is old news, but it's still kind of new to me because one, I don't watch movies very often, and two, I'm a godless heathen. So there's a movie recently that came out called The Pope's Exorcism with Russell Crowe.
Did I not send you this?
No! I'm so
I
sad
fucked up
about
by not
this.
sending it to you.
I
What the
found
hell?
this the other day and I was like, what the fuck?
Okay,
And I
yeah,
had a
yeah,
meltdown
yeah.
about this. Okay, so anyway, there's a moment in The Pope's Exorcist where they're talking about the famous Spanish Inquisition and how the Catholics were absolute dicks.
Is it the Spaniards or is it some magical elves?
Who fucking knows? Maybe it is magical elves. Anyway, there's a symbol. There's a shield with a symbol, and instead of the famous Inquisition cross, sword, and fucking branch, it's the Dragon Age Inquisition eye, sun, and sword symbol.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what happened with the prop department. If this
My
is
favorite explanation for what happened is their
Okay.
research person just goes Inquisition,
Inquisition symbol,
and then boom, the first logo that pops up is Dragon Age Inquisition, and they take that.
so that's what I did.
I hope that's what it is. I mean, the second option is they're just a Dragon Age fan and
Yeah.
flipped in a reference, which
Yeah.
is that's pretty cool, but it's also
Sneaky.
kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I I hope one of those two things happen.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Because I did that. It was like, what comes up when you Google Spanish Inquisition or Inquisition symbol, not Spanish
Yeah.
Inquisition.
Yeah,
Inquisition symbol. So the first one is fucking Dragon Age. You want to guess
Yeah.
what the fifth one is? It's fucking Warhammer.
Oh,
Warhammer
really?
40K, yeah, the Inquisition
That's
symbols.
amazing. You know, it's not often that Dragon Age fans get recognized in the mainstream, but here we are.
Here we are.
Well, is the movie even mainstream? I bet not very
I
many
don't
people
know.
saw that movie.
I think
I mean, it's got Russell Crowe in it.
yeah, my roommate watched it because he watches everything horror game or horror movie related. No matter how bad it is, he will continue to watch it. But yeah, he saw it too, and he's
Did he like it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You forgot to ask. You're like, oh, the logo.
He's like, I think it was just a fan who put it in there and didn't think that anyone would notice and get this much publicity because there's a chance that EA could see this and they may be like, yeah, get rid of that scene or else.
That'd be insane.
It would be insane.
It's fucking publicity, you idiots.
What if this is all EA's ploy to get secret
That'd be
publicity?
amazing. What if they
for
have a man
Dragon
on the
Age?
inside? They're like, hey, there's an Inquisition movie coming out. They're like, hey, get a job there. You know what to do. And they're like, yeah,
know what to do.
we ran drills for this.
Could you imagine running drills for that?
They're like, hey, wait. Have we thought of making the next Dragon Age game good? Get out there and do your job.
Do it. Fix it. Fix this. We fucked up. Please fix this.
You know, if they're planning elaborate ploys like this instead of making good video games,
Mhm.
I actually have a ton of respect because this is a unique way to go about it, and
The
they're just
weirdest
gaming the
marketing
system.
campaign. It's the weirdest marketing campaign I could ever possibly think of.
That's my new favorite theory, that they have a man on the inside. Holy shit.
Okay, other things that are coming up this next week that everybody should probably pay attention. So it's Summerfest. Summerfest is happening.
Jeff Keighley's Summerfest?
Jeff Keighley Summerfest. So we got.
Oh yeah, it's summer.
Yeah, it's June, baby.
I forgot.
We got games. So Summerfest kicks off on June 8th. Along with Digital, why do I always fuck up their name? Devolver Digital. I'm such a fanboy, but I fuck up their name. Devolver Digital's Madness and Collection, which we all love and enjoy, especially me, obviously. Following on June 10th, we have Wholesome Direct and Future Game Show, which is that fucking OTK shit show that happened last year, and it was super awkward. So I don't know if I'm going to be watching that one.
What am I looking at here?
What are you looking at?
I Google Summer Games Fest.
Yeah?
Oh, this is Summerfest. My bad. I didn't know.
You gotta Google Games.
There's like a fucking there's James Taylor and a bunch of fucking.
You're like,
I was
what's
like,
happening?
what the hell's going on?
You're like, what's happening?
I did
don't
what you know what
understand.
I'm well equipped to be a research assistant for any Hollywood movies that maybe Russell Crowe is involved with. Yeah, I'll give you at least something that will get clickbait and not accurate things.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Game Expo is OTK thing with Asmongold.
Oh yeah, they're still doing that?
Yeah. I know.
But last time.
I know.
But last time, buddy.
I know. I remember last time how awkward it was. Where
Oh my
Miss
God, did they hire real hosts or are they still doing it themselves?
Oh, I think they're doing it themselves. Hopefully
Oh,
this
boy.
year.
Hopefully Rich Campbell's not there.
Oh, awkward. Could you imagine? He's just like, hey guys. It'll be like, we need you to leave. You're not.
She actually said it was okay that it happened, so I'm good to go.
Fuck, dude.
Holy shit.
Okay, so the other things besides the awkward OTK Expo is the Xbox.
The Campbells, that's what we're calling them now.
And the Campbells. No. Oh, feels bad. It feels bad. Okay,
I'm just bitter because I chose that man. He was my favorite of the OTK crew.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He was a piece of shit.
I know. He broke my heart.
He broke your heart.
And only mine, I'm sure.
It's understandable. So, Xbox Game Case is on June 11th with the PC Gamers PC showing and stuff. So they're gonna have their own little separate day. Apparently, PlayStation might make an appearance in the Jeff Keighley part, but I don't know since they did their own thing. I don't think why would they have their own fucking additional day or anything like that. It doesn't make much sense.
Huh.
But yeah, what are some of the things that you're going to be looking forward to with this huge expo happening of games to come out? Yeah?
I only want to hear about things I don't know about.
Okay. I can respect that.
Other than Avowed, I'd like to see some proof that that's still
going on.
Because it feels a little bit like
it's
Overwatch 2 PvE, if you know what I mean. We've just gone a little too long without hearing about it to still believe it exists.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of the Tinkerbell magic to still believe.
Yeah.
So.
That's understandable. I can respect that. And then what's something that you think won't be there?
Avowed.
Okay, that's fair.
That won't be there?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
I don't know either.
Maybe, well, we know that
they have to talk
already
about
happened, so I assume that there's no Naughty Dog thing there.
Yeah, no Naughty Dog shit.
Hopefully there's no Square Enix NFT key projects.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. That's fair. I know Devolver's releasing a new Gris-like game, so I'm looking forward to seeing about that and seeing more from them. Because I really like that studio, the French studio. I can't think of their name. And then on top of that, I would love, but I don't know. I'm still nervous about the Xbox leak that we talked about 2 weeks ago. If it's true or not.
What was the leak?
Fallout New Vegas 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
We're
keep
gonna
forgetting they're with
find out.
Xbox.
We're gonna find
I just
out.
don't hear
Yeah.
Microsoft and think Bethesda.
Yeah.
Still.
It's still kind of one of those weird things. They're gonna really show off Starfield, which is fair, and I can respect that.
I'm not gonna watch it.
You're not gonna watch the Xbox
I'm
one?
gonna play the game.
Okay.
I don't want to fucking.
That's fair.
You know.
I'm just gonna talk about
Same
back.
reason I avoid trailers for movies and games. Like I just don't. I'm already
invested.
I'm either in or I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
That's
I can
my
definitely
thing.
see that. Yeah. And
I hope that the Cyberpunk Idris Elba DLC is gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Holy shit.
I assume that's what they're showing off. I hope they show off another thing, like maybe
On the
another
PC
Witcher
Gamer
thing.
one? Yeah.
Would be good.
CD Projekt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Wizards of the Coast doing there?
They're being drunk and calling the Pinkertons again to go after some small YouTuber.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be. They're the security.
That's what their whole presentation is dedicated to.
the
They have
bad
a couple
guys from Red
Pinkertons on
Dead
stage. That
Redemption
would be
2.
amazing, dude.
Oh my god, yeah. Come on to the stage, Mr. Pinkertons, aka the bad guys from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Dude, I can't say that.
Why not?
Because it's probably copyrighted. Something I don't know.
Why would that be copyrighted?
To
The bad
say
guys from Red Dead
someone
Redemption
else's game
2?
name while you're on a stage talking about video games.
I mean, people compare games to everything else. Like, remember when everybody's like, "Oh, this is the Dark Souls of blah blah
But
blah."
did they say that on
Yes!
like stages?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes!
Well,
They're like, "This is the Dark Souls." Like, Dark Souls became its like own genre overnight.
I remember Reddit users talking about that.
This is the Dark Souls
And my
of blah blah
friends.
blah. This is
Yeah.
the Dark Souls of farm simulation games.
You have the Dark Souls of internet service
I
providers.
do. Shit. Fuck Spectrum, dude. I'm just banging my dick against the fucking boss over and over again. I'm gonna go kick my fucking box in the nads after this. Anyway, so the last two things I want to talk about are Bobby Kotick and Redfall. So there was two major pieces released this week talking about Bobby Kotick. Of all the things, so I'm going to talk about this. It's a very, very biased puff piece that was released about him. And it's called Bobby Breaks His Silence. And this is a very one-sided article. I wish somebody actually gave a shit about video games who did this. Not someone who, quote, is a TV fanatic and a reporter in her spare time. No offense, Cynthia, but you don't know shit about
TV fanatic. Oh,
That's
like
literally
TV shows?
what her Twitter says. She's
Jesus.
a TV fanatic, and they did talk about movies and shit a
That
lot.
sounds like she doesn't have a job. Dude.
No. Most of her reporting, because I deep dove into this because I was curious about it, because a lot of people rip this apart, and that's fair because it is a puff piece.
Yeah.
It is to build up Bobby. And also, this is coming from me.
Does he also own a newspaper or something?
No, but that's one of the first things that we'll talk about because he almost buys Time Warner and he talks about it and he gloats about it. That's the first thing she mentions in the puff piece.
Okay.
He's like, I almost bought Time Warner last year. Literally, that's the first fucking sentence of this article that Cynthia wrote. And I'm sorry,
Very
I'm ripping you
relatable.
apart, Cynthia, but I am very biased when it comes to Bobby Kotick. Everybody knows this. And, yeah, so I'm going to rip this apart just like everybody else has and talk about funny quotes from it because there was some So obviously, immediately out the gate, he comes about gloating about buying Time Warner, aka media. Aka media he can control and build a better image for himself, potentially. Many people have done this, just like CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Yeah, so he gloats about this, but he was trying to be like, well, we could take our games and turn them into movies, and then we could take their movies and turn them into games. Yeah, sure.
How has no one thought of this?
Wow, amazing. But then she switched gears and started talking about the topics of sexual harassment and frat bro environments, which brought out an interesting side of Bobby, because he starts talking about the EEOC, which is the, God damn it, I had this fucking typed in here and then somehow I deleted it.
Oops.
Like an idiot fucking sandwich, which is the Equal Employee Opportunity Commission, which they did the countersuit and they won the lawsuit, which caused the whole downfall of the lawsuit and everything. And it only settled for $18 million, which is really depressing.
Wow.
And he said, quote, the company is preparing to release a slew of data drawn from the EEOC investigation, and he hopes that this will combat the perception of Activision that it was run as a frat house. I'm genuinely curious what that is, like what this evidence is, because there's a lot of other evidence that proves that all of this was happening. And like all of it's kind of. Are you
talking about the text messages?
Yeah, like the text messages, the chain,
yeah,
the boys' chain. Another thing that he said, quote, we have every possible form of investigation done. We do not have a systematic issue with harassment ever. We don't have any of what mischaracterizations reported in the media, Bobby asserts. But what we do have was a very aggressive labor movement working hard to try to destabilize the company. He talks like Donald Trump, by the way. This whole thing was filled with like quotes, and all I could hear was Donald Trump's voice. So I could sound like him a little bit. But he also continued that blaming the outside forces, Twitter, labor activity, and basically causing the image of the company to downfall. That is blaming everybody else but the company itself.
Yeah.
And even though we've talked about the evidence, the harassment, the emails, the boy chains about the hot or not, women being underpaid and undervalued at the company, including...
Well, that's just good sense.
Fuck you. But including former co-president Jen O'Neill, who said she was paid less than her counterpart, Mike Ybarra, who still is the president.
Was she worse than him, though?
I mean, to be fair, she got the job. She had been there the same amount of time as him. She had done similar roles.
That's not how you get paid in America.
But yeah. Imagine getting promoted and then finding out you make less. And promoted because you want to promote this image of being like, yeah, we like women. Women have the opportunity here. We're women friendly. We're going to pay you less than this man.
Well, that was their first mistake. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to hire the woman if you didn't give a shit about that. God, they have no idea how to run a misogynist company. I will get in there and turn that ship right. Hard right, if you know what I mean.
Bobby continued to cry, calling fake news, basically. But this is one of my favorite quotes, talking about like the new wave of games and stuff that he said. And it sounds like he's really into AI, which is basically the next NFT wave.
Oh, fantastic.
People. He said, quote, playing games is such a visceral experience, Bobby explains. We're getting to the point that games itself is able to create its own content in real time. It will be exquisite.
We don't have to hire any more of these blue-haired motherfuckers. I'll just replace them with AI.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then they started talking about unions and stuff. And this is my favorite fucking quote, dude. Okay. I'm not like other CEOs that are anti-union, he insists. I'm the only Fortune 500 CEO who's a member of a union. We have employees who want unions to represent them. They believe that a union is going to be able to provide them the opportunities and enhance their work experience. I'm all for it. I have a mother who was a teacher. I have no adversary to a union. What I do have an adversary is to a union that doesn't play by the rules.
Who makes up the rules, Bobby? Who is it?
That was the funniest fucking thing. Yeah. If you guys want to go read the post yourself, it's very long. It's on Variety. I'm sure if you Google Bobby spills the beans or Bobby breaks his silence, you'll find the article.
Bobby suck dick interview.
Garbage.
Found it.
A lot of people rip it apart, including one of my favorite Bloomberg writers, who's a big video game and a big Blizzard fan. He even ripped it apart. He's
it's rare to see two of those things coincide.
Right.
These days.
he's actually pretty good. So Jason Schreier is the one that and we're gonna bring up his stuff. Yeah.
Mr. Leaky Leak.
Mr. Leaky Leak, exactly. And we're gonna talk about his post about Redfall because he did a huge deep dive into Redfall and why it failed. But let's catch up on Shaq.
Sure.
So Revolutionary Bobby. I like that. Actually, Revolutionary Bobby. I think that's what happened was the culture was toxic. Fire the ones who were toxic, and maybe they have a little bit of a chance. They did fire them. They did. Like,
well,
yeah.
But it kind of goes higher than that, doesn't it?
It definitely goes higher than that. I think if Bobby left, it may change the whole workplace. Just pay one person in ChatGPT to make games and about 2 weeks instead of 4 years. Oh no, DeLorean, no.
So I read something this week about Dragon Age trying to use AI to write some of their side quests.
Oh no. How'd that go?
So it's David Gator, who is one of the main writers. Well, traditionally, he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But he said that they all come out super soulless. He's like, as far as we can tell, right now, there's no way to get around it. They just come out empty. And they're like, we didn't go with it. But
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
There's got to be a bunch of people doing it.
Yeah.
And not aware of how it really comes out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for AI. I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting concept. There needs to be a lot of controls.
Also, there are places for it, right?
Yeah.
Like indie games.
Getting ideas for it. Like we use it all the time.
Yeah. Indie games having some voice acting.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's just the developer or their sister or something doing the voice acting, it's better to have it than not.
Yeah.
And we recognize that. It's like a game done by 1 or 2 or 12 people instead of a giant studio, and you can adjust your expectations. So in an indie game, I think AI makes more sense. In a AAA game, you're just being cheap and stupid.
Yeah.
So I think it can exist, and I think it will obviously get better. And then the other places that I think it can exist, I guess it sort of goes back to the indie thing, but like Mountain Blade.
Yeah.
Like the second one in particular, I saw a video of some AI voice acting, which was awesome because it's not only voice acting but also written stuff.
Yeah.
It would like pull back into you give it like a character. I also saw a video about this for a mod for Skyrim, which is awesome.
Oh wow.
It takes a little too long to make it happen, but basically this guy strung together 3 different AIs. I forget what the third one does, but the first and second are voice and writing. So those come together to make, you just feed it every line that Lydia has, and then it learns some stuff about her. Maybe it's making some other stuff up. I'm not sure. But you can ask her any question. Especially, the third mod was you can talk to the NPC. So you can say what you want to say to the NPC.
Okay.
So you say, hey, tell me about your childhood. She tells you how she grew up. Instead of you having to read a book about it later or something like that, which is fucking sick. I would much rather play that. And I think it belongs in modders' hands, by the way. I don't think Bethesda should be throwing this in their games.
No.
But it's, again, the lowered expectation of a mod.
Yeah. I could agree with that too. And like using it for ideas or like helping you with something. Although I did read about an interview today. Somebody wrote somebody used ChatGPT to write something that should have taken them about 90 minutes to 2 hours in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they used ChatGPT to do it for them, and then they sent it to him and be like, how did you come up with this so fast? We just gave this to you, and this is random. And then the guy confessed.
I have toyed around with the idea of writing work emails with it.
I have used it to write responses that sound more, I obviously changed.
Corporate.
Yeah, more corporate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And stuff. It's definitely helped me for
It
certain
belongs
things.
to the workplace because they all want you to sound like a robot anyway.
Robot. Yeah. Although customers have complained that I do sound like a robot, even though I don't always use ChatGPT.
Come on, they're fucking nerd gamers, all right? The only problem with you being a robot is you need like a sexy robot persona. Like Cortana or something.
Sorry,
like a green Cortana.
My logo isn't cute enough. I'm changing my name to Robot Girl. Okay. Yeah, I think AI is interesting. I would like to see more of it, but there's some scary shit, like with the drones that I've seen, which is terrifying.
I don't know. What is that?
Okay, so they were using AI for drones, testing it with drones and stuff like that, and they were giving it.
The drones are thinking for themselves now.
Well, not right now. This is all in testing, right? So, yeah, thank God, because the drones kind of, well, they gave it dopamine, right? So they're like, hey, get this, you get points, and the drones were like, cool. So, what happened was, the drones would want to get more points, so they started taking out the operators that were operating the drones. So they started killing the people. So they said, don't do that. So they took that away. So eventually what the drones would start doing to get more points in killing people, they started taking out towers so they couldn't receive signals from the operator telling them, don't do that. It's terrifying.
Wow. You know, I just realized.
Yeah.
Parents growing up thought we were drones.
Oh my God!
It's the most dehumanizing thing ever. Because they'd be like, "Oh my God, you're playing that game where you get points for killing hookers." And we're like, "No, you don't get points." First of all, second of all, I would never kill a real hooker.
Yeah.
If anything, I would use one. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you got it totally wrong.
Yeah.
I'm a person, not a robot who just learns what you think I'm learning from this fucking video game.
I don't yeah. I just, it's terrifying. DeLorean, I don't know if it's Boston Dynamics, but yeah, it's basically Skynet at this point. It's basically Skynet. Anyway, so let's get into Jason Schreier's post about Redfall. Like I said, this is a really good Bloomberg post.
I forgot Redfall happened because Gollum kind of overshadowed it.
Gollum definitely overshadowed it.
The first time Gollum's ever overshadowed anything.
Yeah, so this basically gives some good context about how basically the acquisition of like Arcane and Bethesda and all them being taken over by Microsoft thought that they would cancel Redfall, seeing how bad of a state this was and the direction that had this, or at least let them reboot it as a single player game. But this is basically the breakdown. So as we know, Redfall was a bit of a disaster. And there's no way to go around that. So Arcane Studios was done with Dishonored 2 and Prey. This is back in circa 2018. Yeah. And at this time, ZeniMax was putting a lot of pressure on their game companies to produce
Didn't they also do Deathloop?
Yeah, but this is before Deathloop.
Okay.
They started working on Redfall before Deathloop.
Oh.
So, that's what it sounds like anyway, from everything that I read. So they're under ZeniMax, and they were encouraging game development basically to generate revenues beyond the initial sales. Games of service, as they called it, like Fortnite, Overwatch, which were really big in 2018. Basically, more strong-arming them rather than encouraging them. Because as we saw the following years during that time, we saw games like Wolfenstein, Fallout 76, even Doom had microtransactions embedded into their games. Even though, like, Doom was single-player, but Wolfenstein had a multiplayer mode, they had microtransactions. It didn't do very well, obviously, but, you know, they tried.
Wolfenstein did?
Yeah. That came out around that time. Fallout 76.
I don't remember that.
I think Fallout 76 was the one who got it the most, and they probably, you know, obviously, it's the one that got the worst rap.
I definitely remember the Doom one because it didn't launch right away.
No.
And
it
I was
launched
like, they're like,
later
coming soon. I'm like, okay, I'm never booting this up after I beat it, but thank you.
It's like, thanks, I'll never see this again after I beat you. Bye. You got your money. But yeah, so they're really encouraging companies. So after Prey launched, Prey was considered a failure in ZeniMax's eyes because it didn't do very well monetization.
So we're just Square Enixing the West.
They're Square Enixing the West, yeah. It was one of their first shooter games that they tried because they were also encouraging people to do more gun games and stuff like Fortnite and Overwatch. Great. I loved Prey personally. I thought it was really great. Didn't have microtransactions, but it did have a DLC later on. So,
which I hear was very cool, by the way.
Yeah. So
I have not beat that game. I would like to, but I have not.
I need to beat it at some point. I need to go back to it. So Redfall pitch happened.
Yes.
And this is, like I said before, Deathloop even started. And multiplayer games obviously take more bodies than a single player game. And
sure.
And Arcane Studio is actually a pretty small company when you come to look at it.
And they haven't done multiplayer before, right?
No.
Yeah, so they need some outside something.
So they brought in Harvey Smith and Ricardo Brave, who were both leads, I believe, on Prey. And so the two leads were really excited of the prospect of doing a multiplayer game. However, like I said, the studio had never focused on multiplayer. They've done immersive sim games, single-player experiences, so they were incredibly confused on the switch of gears. Also, the management kept switching the focus of the game or the reference of the games. Like, do a Far Cry type game. No, let's do a Borderlands type like game. And every department at Arcane kept getting different games of what they wanted referenced. So Fortnite, Overwatch.
Dude, is that how to lead a game studio? You just come in and be like,
Borderlands.
Fallout, let's do that with this stuff.
Yeah. So that's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like.
I could do that job for sure. That's you know what? I've had number $1 billion sales guaranteed right here. See? Star Wars ARPG.
Yeah.
Can I have my year salary, please? Actually, 4 years?
Give me 4 years. 5, 6, maybe. We'll take our time developing it. Anyway, so, which I believe led to their next major issue, which was turnover. So their Austin location, which is their main location for Arcane Studio, has less than 100 people total.
Well,
ever.
But to be fair, Austin, Texas is not blowing up.
No. It's kind of like...
It's dwindling.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm being facetious. It's basically LA number 2 at this point.
I don't know what Austin's like.
It's insane. The growth there is insane.
Is it
the fact
really?
you can't hire people? Yes.
Okay.
Mostly people trying to be comedians, but yes.
A lot of streamers are moving there too, which is funny.
Yeah, dude. Everyone in OTK, I think, has to move there.
OTK are there, yeah. But
fucking Tectone, I don't know if you know Tectone. He had to borrow $300,000 from Mizkif to buy a house to join OTK.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's why Squeaks joined lead. Simply's also in that one too, to be fair. So I can see why the staff has grown frustrated. Being smaller studio, being forced to bring on this huge multiplayer game, and which led to a lot of turnover. And again, them trying to change the focus, make a Fortnite-like game. No, Destiny. And it just kept referencing all these fucking different games and not having a major focus. So morale went to shit. And it just kind of snowballed from there. Eventually, they did get bought out by Microsoft. And we know what Microsoft did when they purchased all of these major companies. They just kind of let them be.
They're like, hey, you guys are doing great.
You're doing great.
Do your thing.
And I think that's where it came along. They were hoping that Arcane Studios would see the struggle, or Microsoft would see this issue and stuff like that.
You know, people like Bobby Kotick probably see this situation.
Yeah.
Their situation specifically, and they think everyone just hates the guy at the top. That's what this is.
Yeah.
We fucking love Phil Spencer.
We love Phil Spencer.
What's the difference? Phil Spencer went on a fucking podcast to talk about his failure of a fucking video game he didn't even make.
Yeah, he didn't even make it. And he had no way.
And
but
he
he
assumed
even admitted
almost all the ownership.
Yeah,
he
did. He did assume almost all the ownership, and he said the fault is mine because I didn't check in on them.
Yeah. He's like, well, we're gonna redo our strategy, basically.
Yeah. So I think that was a learning experience, unfortunately, and it was the
100%.
worst. It was the worst possible outcome for both companies, because like Arcane obviously did not want to make this game,
right?
And it's very apparent, and it feels soulless, and it feels lifeless, and Microsoft just let it happen.
It's kind of a lesson for people. I mean, this
right.
is so presumptuous of me to say, but I think it's a little bit of a lesson for the leadership at Arcane specifically, because if they had known, as is sort of indicated, that this was a problem when the Microsoft merger or acquisition happened, they should have said, hey, these are the challenges that we face.
Yeah.
What can we do about them? Rather than, yeah, they're trusting us to make a great game, let's make a great game. I bet that's what happened, because they want to appear self-reliant, and they want, but they knew they didn't have it. They
I think
must
also,
have known.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were delusional, because like
Could
both
be.
both
don't be delusional is another good
both
lesson.
Harvey Smith and Ricardo Bear have both like declined to comment on this. But Harvey did bring it up with somebody. Let's see. So, like, obviously the game was delayed, and quote, along the way, Smith and other leaders assured the staff that the game would become exponentially better once the final art was implemented and the bugs were fixed, promising that arcane magic would manifest at the last minute like it had in the previous games. So they were forcing crunch. They were encouraging crunch.
I wonder how true that is. Does it look like shit until they're done?
I don't know. I don't know
the
what it's like
last
to
minute
produce
magic
a
they
game.
usually do it. That's crazy.
I think
that would
was
be
them forcing
if that
crunch.
is true. If that is true, that would be dope as fuck. Honestly. Because that means maybe they are close.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they could do it real quick. There's no way. Have you played it?
Way.
There's no fucking way.
There's no way. It looks so bad.
They weren't close to shit, dude.
Yeah.
They couldn't even reach shit.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite things. Harvey Smith recently talked to Eurogamer, talking about the microtransactions, saying he pushed back. But anonymous people who reported to Jason Schreier said that no. Within the first 3 years of development, microtransactions were immediately planned and being outlined.
There's microtransactions?
Yes, there's a lot of microtransactions in that game.
I honestly didn't even know.
They probably weren't finished because the game wasn't finished. And I feel really bad. Like, this is like an interesting learning experience because it was them being forced. Like, I thought maybe it was them trying something new and they just completely dropped the ball. But there's no heart in this, and you could kind of tell. You can finally see why. It's because
they were chasing different goalposts that kept moving, and
yeah. Make a Destiny game. Make a Far Cry game. Make a Fortnite. They're basically all the same. It's like people who don't play video games trying to tell you what to do.
That kind of thing happens at my job as well.
Yeah,
and I think it has to do with where, like, the people that are leaders in an industry see themselves as leaders in the industry, so they are like forward looking, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna do this, and then if it changes, they go, okay, let's change it to that, and it's like they almost bear no weight of the responsibility, while all the like
you better do
driving
this. You have to do a Destiny game. You have to do a Fortnite game. Those are two completely games. I don't care. Make it happen.
And sometimes that works out. Maybe sometimes more often than not.
Maybe. Maybe that's how a lot of games are being done.
Well, look at Fortnite. What was Fortnite before it became popular? It was a totally different video game.
Yeah, it was
and
7
then,
days
they
to
saw
die.
Industry fucking shit that was happening. Like, well, we're going to actually become one of the most popular games ever by just copying this fucking formula.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it was wildly successful.
It was wildly successful. It's kind of wild to see what happened to Fortnite and how much it did change. And, like, it was good that the studio was able to adapt to that and make those changes, but, like, not everybody has that, like, ability to, like,
gamble.
switch.
It's a fucking gamble.
It was definitely a gamble, and they won. It was a good gamble for them.
Yeah. Redfall lost.
Redfall, unfortunately, lost.
Also, flip-flopping between things. Even if you have the right formula, if you arrive at after 9 other formulas, it's not gonna come out.
Make a Borderlands game. What do you mean it's not like Fortnite?
Borderlands has like
it's
one of the most
multiplayer.
irrelevant fucking genres ever. The loot shooter. What's a famous loot shooter right now? Like an active service loot shooter. Destiny is like the only one, and I'm pretty sure that's been in decline for years.
I mean, it had a big bump when What's-His-Face unfortunately died, I think, but you know.
Wait, what?
Lance Riddick or whatever his name is, when he passed because he is one of the main voice actors from the game.
Oh yeah. I don't know how big the bump was.
I don't know. Maybe. I know a lot of people were on there and ignoring me, but it's fine. There might be some shade on current people. But fine.
Feels like some shade.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 is like the last loot shooter, and I don't give a shit about Borderlands. I never liked it.
No one does. Have you
met
met anyone who's played Borderlands 3?
No. Wait.
Maybe DeLorean.
Yeah, maybe DeLorean. Oh my god.
Division? How's the Division doing?
Oh my god, I forgot about that game!
Yeah.
Tom Clancy! The Division to Tom Clancy. Oh yeah, Ubisoft is also doing something the week of Jeff Keighley Fest, and I don't give a shit about Ubisoft. I was like, they're like, oh, Ubisoft, what about Ubisoft? And I was just like, that's fucking great. I don't give a shit. I like
Assassin's Creed still.
I think you and maybe like 3 other people that I know like Assassin's Creed still.
That's a lot of people. Hey.
That's like 4 people. Oh my god.
That's more people than like Dota 2.
Maybe they'll make a multiplayer Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah. I didn't like that hide and go seek mode.
There was a hide and go seek mode? What the fuck?
Well, there was like you try to
five?
catch the assassin. It was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I think, was the one that introduced it, and yeah, it was like you follow people around and try to figure out who's the other real player. Like you try to pretend to be an NPC.
It's like
and then you stab, and if you get it right, you win. But if you get it wrong, you lose some points and maybe you fail also. Yeah.
It's like prop hunt, but extra steps.
Basically, extra steps. Yeah, exactly.
There's also
extra
a game
steps and yet somehow less interesting.
There's a better game called Spy Party. It's way better. It's way better and does basically the same thing. It's 100. We should play that. We should get drunk and play that.
We should do that on one of the Fridays.
No, it's only 2-player.
What?
Look up the. Oh my god! Hang on.
Okay.
Spy
Party game?
It's called Spy Party.
A subtle game about human behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one where you're looking through the binoculars. I saw
and you shoot
Markiplier play this.
I don't know. It's a lot of big streamers play this one.
Interesting.
It's fun.
Is that like the version I have is called
Prop Hunt?
The boat or something? I don't know. The ship?
The ship. We played the ship.
I think it's called The Ship.
Oh my god, we should play a game of Spy Party, and whoever wins or the other person.
Well, it's gonna be you. You understand the game. I've never played.
It's not that hard, I promise. Anyway, Obsidian said Mish throwing shade was, what are you talking about? That was a full-on eclipse. It's true. I'm a total eclipse of the heart. And he said, I love Assassin's Creed Unity. It was glitchy as all hell. The only Assassin's Creed I ever played was Assassin's Creed 1. That's it.
Wow.
It was just like, this game sucks.
Assassin's Creed 2, Black Flag, and Origins are my favorite.
Origins?
I guess I only like it when
one.
they super change the game.
Yeah. I think Origins
I like
is
the
only
second one, which was
play.
when they made it a real good video game.
Oh,
the
yeah.
first one sucked. And then Black Flag was, we're pirates now. And then Origins was like RPG now.
Oh, no, maybe, what's the one with the Greek one? Was that Origins?
That is Odyssey.
Odyssey's, I think, the only one that had me interested because I really like Greek mythology.
Yeah, I bet it's awesome. I've played a little bit, but it was right after Origins, so it was like, I need a little more time.
I don't know. That's fair. Black Flag was great. The only mobile app that made more money. The store was shut down. Jesus Christ. The mobile app? I can't believe
I
they
didn't
had a
even know
mobile
they had
app.
one.
Thanks for
It was
letting
probably
us
for
know.
managing your ships or something.
Rust has a mobile app to let you know when people are breaking into your base.
Rust?
Dude, it's
That's
great.
kind of amazing, actually.
It's fucking great. It's like your base is being invaded. Somebody's attacking your TC and you're like, fuck! Get on, boys!
Wake up!
Wake the fuck up! Instead of having somebody on 24 hours a day, you just have your mobile app on.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of video games that had mobile apps. World of Warcraft had one for their, like, RPG bullshit that they had. I don't know if they still do it. All right.
MMOs should do a mobile app to, like, manage their crafting, since that's boring as fuck.
Everything's boring as fuck. All right, everyone. I think that's it for the podcast today. I'm tired. Portz is tired. We're done.
I'm not tired. I've never been tired a day in my life.
You just fucking yawned. I saw you.
Well, that was because you yawned.
Did I yawn?
I don't know, actually.
How dare you?
It was a good deflection in the moment.
It was a good deflection. But yeah. But thank you guys for being here with us today. We do appreciate it. For those that are listening, you can always go and watch the podcast on YouTube if you want to see our faces and our reactions. I make some kind of volatile reactions when I get really
on
mad.
Spotify also.
Also on Spotify. Oh yeah, the Spotify also has the live feed too. So we love you guys. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch and Twitter at Evil Space Bunny and the Real Portz. And on Twitter as well, we're Ignore Backlog. And the YouTube should be Ignore the Backlog. And stuff. But thank you guys so much. We love you very much. And I'm going to hit stop now. Say goodbye.
TYVM.
What?
TYVM.